Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Georgia. I hope you're well. Welcome to the first reading vlog of 2026, which is just crazy. I wanted to start off the year with like a good, strong video, and I just love a scavenger hunt. I just really wanted to start off with a video that I really enjoy. I wanted to get off to like a good start. Here we are on the 1st of January. We're going to film a little scavenger hunt video. So if you haven't seen these before, in the scavenger hunt videos, basically what happens is we go through a series of 10 prompts. Each prompt leads us to a different book, and then we use that book and the next prompt to get the next book, so on and so forth until we reach our 10th one. And that is the book that we will read together in this video. If you've never done this before, I do highly recommend giving it a go. It's so much fun. I just think it's such a fun way to get like a different book that you might not have gravitated towards without it. So I highly recommend it. I'll leave the prompts in the description bar below. I highly recommend giving this a go. I have the prompts on my phone, so I'm just going to go through them with you guys, and then we will read a book together at the end of this video. So I'm going to start with prompt number 1. Start with the last book that you rated 5 stars and then find a book with a similar cover. So the last book that I rated 5 stars was actually a Kindle read, and that was Dove by Paisley Hope. I do have the physical copy arriving literally tomorrow. I don't have the physical copy of that with me, so I'll go for the book that I rated 5 stars before that, which has to be Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. So this is Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. It's such a good read. I highly recommend this one. Save it for Christmas time. It's definitely a Christmassy vibe, but it's so much fun. So he is the ghost of Christmas past, and she's who he's been given to like haunt for the holiday season, and I just think it's such a fun little setup and such a fun vibe, so I highly recommend this one. So the second part of this prompt then is find a book with a similar cover. So I'm going to look for the sort of like people cover. I'm going to go for like brown haired guy, blonde haired girl, similar sort of animation maybe. I'm going to go have a look, and I'll come back to you once I've found a book with a similar cover. So I have The Wrong Mr. Right by Stephanie Archer. I haven't actually read this one yet. This one was off my TBR cart. It's book 2 in the Queen's Cove series. I read book 1 ages ago, so I always like forget what this series is called. So I'm going to say they have similar-ish covers. We've got that sort of like close contact, near kiss thing, brown hair, blonde hair. I'm going to go with this. I think these are similar enough. Moving on to prompt number 2. So prompt number 2 then, add the last page numbers together, then find a book that has that many letters in the title. So I use the last page of the actual book. I don't go for any excerpts of any other books or acknowledgements or anything like that. So the last page of this book is 360, as you can see there. So 3 plus 6 plus 0, 9. So I need to find a book that has 9 letters in the title. Where am I looking? Let's go. Ooh, these are always a good shout. So I have Powerless by Elsie Silver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. So this is our second book, our second prompt. So moving on to prompt number 3 then, list some of the tropes in this book and then find a book with similar tropes. So this one is sort of like a small town country romance, but our main male character, Jasper, it was a long time ago that I read this book. So Jasper is a ice hockey player, so like a sports player. So he's like a professional sport guy. And I sound just so like unknowledgeable of any sort of sport there. It's like a fake dating, helps her get out of like a marriage sort of situation. So we could look for like a fake dating. Have we got any fake dating like sport romances? I do. We have The Right Move by Liz Tomfordy. I always say Liz Tomford, but apparently it's Liz Tomfordy. But this is another sport romance. This one follows Indy and Ryan and is like a fake dating sport romance situation. So this is perfect. Let's move on to our next prompt. This literally worked out so well. I'm so happy with that. I hate this time of year where I feel like I just have like a constant cold. It drives me crazy. So prompt number 4, reverse the page count and then find a book with a similar number of pages. I feel like on these ones I always end up with like 100 and something or like 900 and something. Okay, so we have 496, literally says the end there, look, 496. So we're looking for a book with around 694 pages. Let's get looking. 694. Nope. 649. Is that what we were looking for? Oh, I thought I was bang on then. So I was looking for 694 and this book has 649. I thought I was bob on. Do you know what? I'm going to use it anyway because I feel that's probably the closest I'm going to get, and I feel like I've emptied half of my fantasy shelves trying to find something. So we have The Crowns of Oaths and Curses. This is book 1 in the Mortal Fates series by J. Bree. I've heard the most amazing things about book 1, but then I've heard quite bad things about book 2, and I feel like it's put me off picking up book 1. If you've read these, let me know what your thoughts on them were, because I really need some motivation to get this read. The next prompt we have, find a book published in the same year. This book, I want to say, was 2023. 2023, go me. Okay, so let's look for another book that was published in 2023. One thing I will say is I use the rule that you can't use a book more than once. So any of the books that you pick up for each prompt in the middle, you can't read at the end. So do be choosy with which books you pick up for each. Okay, we have another book published in 2023. So this is Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. This is book 1 in the Rebel Blue Ranch series, and I love this series so much. Okay, so we're going for prompt number 6. List the tropes from this book and then pick a book with opposite tropes. Okay, so if I remember correctly, this is a brother's best friend. Emmy's older brother. So it's brother's best friend. I'm pretty sure it's like Grumpy Sunshine, bit of like a forced proximity sort of situation. I read this like over 2 years ago at this point, so I really can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's like a forced proximity, brother's best friend, Grumpy Sunshine type of book. So what if we go for like a sister's best friend instead and have it opposite that way? That could be quite fun. I tend to like hone in on one of the like prompts or one of the tropes when I do these ones, because I'm really bad at the trope ones. So I'm going to go for a sister's best friend. If I remember correctly, this one follows Ava from book 1. Pretty sure it's her brother and her best friend. So this would be a sister's best friend. Yeah? Does that make sense? I mean, I'm going to go with it anyway, so let's go for this. This is Twisted Hate by Anna Huang. This is book 3 in the Twisted series by this author. I loved this one. I really enjoyed this one. So prompt number 7, go to the first word, count the number of letters, then find a book with a similar number of pages. So it's that letter times 100 and then a book with that many pages. So we shall go to page 1. Nothing. So nothing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters. So we need a book with about 700 pages. Let's get looking. Again, I think I'm going to go sort of like fantasy way. This one might have to do 715. I'm going to go for this one. So this is Fairytale by Veronica Lancet. Now Faded by Me This for Christmas. Thank you so much, Faye. I do want to get to this really soon. It's just a big book, and big books intimidate me. So I've not read this one yet, like I said, but I think this is sort of like a fantasy one. I think there's some powers. There's like quite an extensive trigger warning list for this, which always brings me joy. Yeah, there's quite a list. So I love a little dark romance, a dark fantasy romance. I am absolutely down for this. It has come highly recommended by Faye, so I'm definitely looking forward to giving this one a go. So prompt number 8, find a book with a similar colour scheme to your current book. We don't have a lot of colour going on here, I'll be honest. So we've got black, we've got silver, we've got sort of like a bronzy colour. That's pretty much all we have to go on. Let's go looking for that. Again, I think I'm probably going to stick to fantasy. I feel like fantasy has a lot of this. Do you know what? First book I tried, that'll do. I feel like they are pretty similar colour scheme wise. They are literally like next to each other on my shelves as well, which just tickles my brain. But I think that will absolutely do for a close colour scheme. I'm going to go for that. I'm happy with that. Let's put some of these books back. I'm so bad for just collecting 10 books onto my desk when filming these videos. So prompt number 9, we are nearing to the end of this now. Prompt number 9, find a book with the same number of letters in the title. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, we have a chunky title, so we're looking for another book with a 15-letter title. Let's get straight to it. I feel like, again, we could be here a while. So just while I'm looking, I don't know if anyone else is having this issue, but like all that's on my TikTok at the minute is Zara Larsson. So I'm just constantly singing wow at this point. It's just become like part of my day-to-day life, and I just cannot get it out of my head. After a lot of counting, I have To Cage a Wild Bird by Brooke Fast. This also has 15 letters in the title. This is my Fairyly edition. Is it not stunning? I absolutely love this. I am so excited to read this book. I haven't read it yet. I was going to buy it anyway, so when I got this as my Fairyly, I want to say in November. Pretty sure it was the November one. I was extremely happy because I was literally like one payday away from just buying it myself. So I was super happy with that. So now we'll use this one. And our final prompt to get the book that we will read together in this video. So prompt number 10, I have find a book that's title or author name starts with the same letter as your current book's title. Our current book starts with the letter T, so I need a book that's title or author starts with the letter T. I feel like we could have some options for this. The Naturals, straight off the bat, that's an option. I can't have the Book of Asriel because we've already used it. Let's look at the trolley. The Assassin's Blade, we could start Throne of Glass. Ooh, we have lots on the card. The Mistake by El Kennedy. Do I want to continue a series or do I want to start something new? I'm not even looking at my January TBR. Let's start. I keep keep doing this where I forget that my January TBR is usually in a different place to the rest of my books, and there'll be one just perfectly sat waiting. The Everking tea. I do feel a little bit like it's cheating when you use the, but I really want to read this book, so I'm going to do it anyway. So we have The Everking by L.J. Andrews. Now I have been so excited to read this book, and it is also one that I've only just received recently. So this is The Everking by L.J. Andrews. This is one that has been on my radar for such a long time. It's been sat on my Kindle for ages and I've just not got around to picking it up, and now I've got it, and now we're going to read it together in this video. So this one is sort of like a piratey, so it's like pirates, sirens. I think there's some sort of like Viking lore in there as well. Now, I have had a bit of a pirate thing going through 2025, and I'm going to be honest, that hasn't stopped yet. So I was really looking forward to Metal Slinger. And then while I was in New York, I actually picked up the Daughter of a Pirate King trilogy, and I have been obsessed with that. So I read book 1 and 2 in 2025, and I'm going to pick up the third and final book soon, because I love that series so much. So then read those as well, and I've just been looking for another sort of like pirate-y book. And I'll be honest, I didn't realise this was piratey until the other week, and then that's why I've all of a sudden been so excited to read this book. So I'll just quickly read you the synopsis. So, they stole his crown, so he stole their daughter. For years, Eric, the scarred king of the Ever Kingdom, has thought of nothing but vengeance against the man who killed his father and trapped him beneath the waves, making him a prisoner in his own realm. Until his enemy's daughter unintentionally breaks the divide between kingdoms, and Eric is free to make her the unwitting pawn in his brutal game of revenge. She's innocent, he's vicious, but he will take back what he lost no matter the price, unless she steals his heart first. So it just says, welcome to the passionate world of the Ever Kingdom, where pirates, sirens and fae collide with Vikings in a dark fantasy romance. Does that not just sound incredible? I think that just sounds amazing, and I cannot wait to get into this book. I have been waiting for an opportunity to read this, and it is on my January TBR, so this has worked out perfectly. I am so happy with this. So, I am so excited. It also just says on the back, hate me, curse me, I cared little, so long as I was the first thought of her day and the last thought of her night. I love a fantasy romance book, and I've been on such a pirate craze that I think this is just going to be perfect. I cannot wait to read. I love like sirens and pirates and that sort of vibe, so I am beyond excited to get into this book. So I'm going to stop waffling on and we're going to jump straight into this. I am beyond excited. Let's go. So I'm just here to give you guys a little update with this book. So I am about 40% of the way. I'm on chapter 24 and I'm really enjoying this one so far. We follow our main character, Livia. Now she is one of the Earth Fae. And then we have our main male character, Eric, who is the Ever King. So it's like this world is divided. There's this chasm in the middle. And basically what happens is these two meet when they're younger, when her dad has sort of captured him. And she ends up with one of his coins. Now it's sort of like this talisman thing. And it creates this whole bond between them. She really shouldn't have been interacting with him when she was younger. It's all very sort of hush hush, and she was like sneaking down there to talk with him and things. And it then like skips to when they're adults. Now they are divided by this chasm. It's sort of like a divide between the worlds, and the Ever King can't get through. I can't exactly remember. It's really bad. My brain is just, it's been a while since I've picked this book up. I'll be completely honest with you. I've read a couple of chapters today and now I'm trying to remember what I read like a week ago, and I've read 4 books since then. It's really bad. So Livia is sort of on this sort of celebration with her friends. It's this big night that they celebrate every year, and they decide to sort of row over to one of these little caves, and she has these really bad nightmares that involve the chasm, and one of her friends basically says, let's just swim over, let's have a look at it, maybe it'll help. And she basically ends up accidentally dropping this like divide between the worlds and breaking the sort of spell that binds them from being able to cross over, and it sort of goes from there. So that basically means that the Ever King can now get across to the Fae realm, or like the Earth Fae realm. So it does say in the blurb, I have already read it out to you, but just to sort of bring it back. So the Ever King is after vengeance for the man who killed his dad. So the king of like the Earth Fae killed the Ever King's dad, and he's after revenge. He can't get the talisman or the sort of like coin that he needs from her, so instead it just steals her. And we're sort of going from there. So at the minute they're still sort of getting to know each other. There is sort of this really weird bond between the two of them that no one can really figure out. So they are sort of like linked somehow. He can feel when she's scared. She has this link to the Everking that she shouldn't, or to the Everlands that she shouldn't have as an Earth Fae. And I don't really know much more about that situation yet, but I'm really looking forward to seeing where this one goes. I'm going to keep reading. I'm enjoying it so far. I know this is very bland, half information check-in, but hey, at least there's less spoilers if I don't know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I am enjoying this. I just had to take a break from this while I did my 24-hour reading challenge, so I do feel a little bit lost in it. I do feel like it's taken me a few chapters to get back into it fully, which is why I'm struggling to give you guys updates. But just how my videos are going up this month, I didn't have time to read this and finish this before I started it like I wanted to, which is why I'm a bit baffled, because I've read 4 books since I last properly read this. I've read like 2 chapters of it since I last read 4 books, so it's taken me a minute to sort of get back in the zone with this one, but things are sort of coming to me as I'm talking to you guys about it. But I am really enjoying it. I like our side characters. I like that we don't really know too much about his people yet. It's all still quite hush hush, but like she's talking a lot about her family at home and her friends at home, and we're getting more about those. So I am enjoying it. I am looking forward to getting further into this and to being fully present for it again, because I've definitely got a bit lost on it. So I'm looking forward to getting back into it. So far it's probably sitting around a 3 or 3.5. I've been enjoying it as I've been reading it. So far it's nothing sort of mind-blowing, but I do feel like I have the Daughter of a Pirate King trilogy sort of like on the back of my mind and how much I enjoyed that one, and I'm kind of comparing it to that a little bit, I think, because that is just such a top tier pirate romance for me. So I'm trying really hard not to compare, but so far it's not living up to that standards, but I am still really enjoying it. So I'm going to keep reading. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying the world building and the experience and stuff. So we're still early days. Let's see what else this book has to offer. We're going to ignore my baby face. I've just finished a 10-hour shift and didn't want to put makeup on for the sake of filming a little clip. So we're dealing with the baby face. I'm just here to give you my final thoughts and feelings on The Everking by L.J. Andrews. So I finished this last night and I have mixed feelings about this one. I'm going to start by saying I did enjoy this book. I think the drama was fun, the events were interesting, the beginning was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Like the first 30% of this book I was hooked. I think it was very sort of like fast paced, and I had a lot of fun and was really hooked with that section of the book. I then think the middle went a little bit stale. It just kind of really slowed down, I think, because the beginning was so fast paced. It just kind of felt a bit like, oh, where are we going with this? And it was just a lot of sort of like, not necessarily politics, but in a way I guess kind of politics of their sort of world and how that was all gonna work, and a lot of focus on something very specific that I can't tell you without giving spoilers. This book, from like the 30% mark, anything I tell you is a spoiler because the beginning and the synopsis for this book is so vague. It just sort of really slowed down and got stuck on this one little bit, but then the ending picked up so much again, and I really, really enjoyed the ending of this book. It is a massive cliffhanger. It's making me really want to jump straight into the next book in this series, which I do already have downloaded on my Kindle because it was on like the 99p deals at some point. But I do really want to jump into the next book and see sort of where this goes. I feel like I should have been expecting it, but I wasn't expecting it, and I think that's going to make for a really fun beginning for book 2. But I am slightly scared it's going to be a similar thing where, because this is only a duology, there is a third book, but I don't know if it's following different characters or something, but I've heard that it's this one and the next one, and then the third one's a bit different. I think I'm a bit worried that we're going to have a similar thing where like the beginning of book 2 is really exciting as we're fixing the ending of this one, and then it's going to slow down in the middle, and then I have predictions of what I think the ending of book 2 will be. I did enjoy this. I think I'm going to rate this one a 3.75. Like I said, if the middle was slightly more exciting, I do think I would have rated it a lot higher. It just felt so different from the rest of the book, from like the beginning and the end. The middle just felt so much slower. I wouldn't say it's as good as like Metal Slinger or Daughter of a Pirate King trilogy for me, but it's definitely still like a very fun piratey read if you like that sort of thing. I do want more recommendations for piratey books. I'm really, really enjoying them. I've got a few downloaded on my Kindle that I want to try. I'm just loving the piratey vibe, so I feel like because I'm in such a mood for this sort of book, I will always read it and probably enjoy it anyway, just because it really is what I'm into at the minute, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to stick with a 3.75 overall. I have enjoyed it. I do think it's been good fun and something a little bit different. I like the certain elements of this I do quite like the sirens and stuff. There is a male version of that, which I thought was an interesting twist and something I've not read in a pirate book yet. Little things like that I think made quite a big difference and that I really enjoyed and had like quite a big impact in the story. So that's pretty much everything I can tell you about this book without giving you spoilers, so I am going to leave it there. 3.75, an enjoyable, fun read, quite insta-lusty in some places. I do feel like everything was kind of forgiven and forgotten quite quickly. There were some good twists in there as well, some things that I didn't expect that I did enjoy. 3.75 in the end. I did really enjoy this one, definitely a fun time, do recommend it. Not as good as some of my other pirate reads though. So that is everything for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And as always, my social media, my Amazon, my Goodreads and my business email are all in the description bar below. If you've read this book, let me know what you thought of it. And if you give this a go, please do let me know how you get on and what book you got and stuff. I definitely recommend giving a Scavenger hunt a go. It's just so much fun and a really fun way to get a book that you probably wouldn't gravitate towards otherwise. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you're well. Take care.